I mean, yeah, I guess it's the time to smile. Just talk about Curtis
Right.
Grant a little bit so far. He's tied that program record. What's he done for you guys so far?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have a true freshman come in and contribute, it's always good. Um, Obviously, it's a long season, and you're going to have many ups and downs. But I think it's good to get a little confidence early and say, hey, I belong and I can contribute. And I think the key, though, for him was the summer or the whole year coming into college golf. He played nothing but amateur events. He kind of put junior golf behind him and started competing against kids already in college. And so when you teed up against Wake Forest and North Carolina and Virginia Tech and Notre Dame, all those guys at Wake Forest event, he'd already seen a lot of those guys during the summer and competed with and beaten them. So it was, in some ways it's not really a freshman experience because he was already used to that.
Just talk about recruiting him. How did you find him? Where did you find him? And all that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're going to recruit the Virginias and the Carolinas and Western Pennsylvania and Ohio, this kind of region, and he was, arguably one of the best in Virginia, and where he's from is like a 3-hour drive from Morgantown, so it made sense, and luckily we were able to get him, and look forward to what he can do not only this year but during his time here.
Like I mentioned earlier, he was a freshman. He ties the program record in his college debut. You ever had a freshman make that fast of a start or anything close to that?
Well, I think all our recruiting classes have contributed. I mean, if you look at Max and Tristan, who are now seniors, and what they've done. If you look at Pap, what he's done. You look at Sharp and Mark and Logan from last year, and now Curtis. So, really, this is the first year where every single class, senior, junior, sophomore, freshman, those guys have been here multiple years. We're able to go out and recruit and not just rely on transfers only like we did the first 2.5 years. So I think you're starting to see that, and so it's good. I mean, I like where we're at.
Last time we talked about a month ago, you talked about having to maybe recruit guys from colder climates because they know how to train year round in this kind of climate. Just talk about that a little bit more and why you have to get those kinds of kids.
Well, I mean, if you look at successful programs from the Midwest and from the Northeast, Illinois, Penn State, Ohio State, I mean, if they're able to do it, there's no reason we can't. And, you get kids that are used to cold weather because we're going to experience that at some point, January, February. And so I think it's just you got to know who you are. We're not in the South. We're kind of close to it, but we're not. And so you just have to be able to know your niche in recruiting and know what kind of kid is going to flourish here and really love being here. And so that kind of helps us navigate recruiting.
How often do you try to maybe go outside your niche and recruit a kid from a warmer climate? And when do you decide maybe we could do this with 1 or 2 kids a year?
I don't know. It's based on the kid. I mean, you just got to be honest with them. It's like, hey, here's who we are. Here's where we're located, and these are the pros and cons of our program. And I think they'll just kind of figure it out. So honestly, if a kid's from Texas or he's from Montreal, doesn't matter to me. If he wants to be here and can help us, then we'll get him here.
And then talk about the excitement level for your home tournament coming up.
Yeah, anytime you can host at home, it's always nice. I mean, a lot of programs don't do this. They just go and play in other people's tournaments. So to be able to host on the course that we play throughout the week, every 2 or 3 days we're down there. So we should have a home course advantage. You never know what you're going to get in golf, but we should be very comfortable with everything. And it's always exciting to get the moms and dads and girlfriends and grandparents show up to watch. And we play all the guys. So whether they're in the starting 5 or as an individual, they're getting to play. And so it's good. It's a lot of fun. I think the guys are excited. I know I'm excited. And I'll have Kate and Keenan down there. And, so anytime you don't have to get on an airplane or drive 5 hours to go play, it's always nice.
What goes into scheduling and creating your own tournament? Talk about the difficulties and challenges with that.
Well, I mean, you go back to we didn't have a program, it didn't exist, and then we started a tournament that at a program that didn't exist. So a lot of other teams were like cautious to come to our tournament. But over the years, I mean, we've had Arkansas, we've had Penn State, we've had Missouri, we've had Mississippi State, had Utah. We've had several teams from across the country come and experience Pete Dye. So that's really nice. And so just trying to get teams here. It's a very busy time in college golf. October is a really good month for tournaments. So it's very competitive as far as trying to get your field. But I mean, there's a lot that goes into it: volunteers and staff, and getting the course to want to host this event. And Pete Dye's been great. Randy Buzzo, who's the owner, has been awesome. Donna Mitchell, who's the GM. Brian Higgins, the head pro. Everybody's been great to us down there. And so that's the key, is having a golf course that wants to host this event. It's a world-class course, so it attracts a really, really good field.
All right, that's all I got for you, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck at your tournament.
Appreciate it.